Hello everybody. So we're going to be working on constant speed, and that's under 6.RP.3b, where it's saying that we're going to solve unit rate problems, including those for constant speed. So constant speed is where we are keeping the same pace or speed for an amount of time. So, and what we mean by that is that, if you're running, sometimes you slow down, sometimes you speed up. When we say constant speed, we're assuming that you're going to continue running at the same pace the entire time. So if you start out running at, a mile in 10 minutes, then you're going to continue every 10 minutes running that 1 mile, meaning that you're not going to slow down. You're running at a constant speed. That's not really typically something that people can manage, but when we're in a car, if you put cruise control on, you can stay at a constant speed of like 55 miles per hour, that kind of thing. That would be a constant speed where we're staying at that exact speed for that undetermined amount of time. Okay, so when we're talking about constant speed, it means keeping the same pace or speed for an amount of time. All right, so finding the unit rate for constant speed. When we're talking about speed in general, then we're talking about a distance over an amount of time. 55 miles per hour, 55 miles in 1 hour. That's our rate, our constant speed. Sometimes they're going to give you the distance and time, and you're going to tell us what the rate is. Or maybe sometimes they're going to tell you what the rate is and the time, and they want you to figure out how far you can go. So there's different ways that we're going to use constant speed. But distance equals rate times time, and distance divided by time equals rate. Those are two basic sorry, I got distracted. Those are two basic equations that we would use for finding rate or distance. So for our first example, and this is going to be a pretty short video, our first example says 70 miles in 5 hours. How far did I drive in 15 hours, and what is my constant speed? So to be able to solve for that, I want you to go ahead and write this down, copy down this example. If you need to pause, you can do that from videos. You can pause them anytime and rewind if you need to. All right, 70 miles in 5 hours. How far did I drive in 15 hours? Some of you might think of your ratios and your equivalent ratios and be able to figure out how to go from 70 over 5 to get to how much over 15 that we would multiply times 5 or times 3, multiply times 3, and we get 210 miles in 15 hours. That would be setting up our ratios that we've learned previously. And to figure out our constant speed, that's going to go back to our unit rate situation where we're going to figure out the constant speed is so far in 1 hour instead of in 5 hours. So we're going to keep it as miles per hour, but now we need to go from 70 to 1, or 70 over 5 to so many over 1 because we want to change this to 1 hour. So to be able to do that, we would have divided by 5. And what we did at the bottom, we would do to the top. And so we would do 70 divided by 5. And that would be 14 miles in 1 hour. So our answers are that we can go 210 miles is the answer for the first part. And the speed is 14 miles in 1 hour. And sorry, I didn't leave myself enough room to write, so I'm writing all over my beautiful picture here. All right, the next one, example number 2, is just asking for the constant speed. So in this one, it says that you can go 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, you can run 210 yards. What is your constant speed? So you're going to figure this out. Remember that it's always distance over time. So distance over time. So we're going to put the 210 on top and the time 30 on the bottom, 30 minutes. 210 yards, but we want to figure out what the constant speed is, which means we're going to a unit rate. And so to be able to do that, we need to divide by 30 top and bottom, and that gives us 70 yards in 1 minute. So I'm going to give you one more example that you're going to do on your own, so I'm going to want you to pause the video in just a moment here. So your example is, it took, I guess I was going to say me, it took me 7 hours to mow 4 lawns. How many lawns can I mow in 35 hours, and at what rate can I mow lawns? So I'd like for you to pause the video now and solve this, and when you come back, we'll go over the answer. Alright, so it says that you took 7 hours. Oh, and you know what? I like to do distance on top, which are my 4 lawns, and my hours, my time on the bottom. Okay, and it wants to know how far what I can do in 35 hours. How many lawns can I mow? So to go from 7 to 35, I'm going to be multiplying times 5. Would I do the bottom? I do the top. And so you should say that I'm going to mow, oops, sorry, times 5, not 4, you crazy person. 20 lawns. So my answer for the first part is how many lawns can I mow in 35 hours? 20 lawns is my answer. Now for the next part, at what rate can I mow lawns? So coming back to the original again, we've got 4 lawns in 7 hours, and I want to know the rate that I'm going to mow lawns. Time is always on the bottom, and I know I'm going to make this into a unit rate, so I'm going to say 1 hour. And to be able to go from 7 hours to get to 1 hour, I divide it by 7. And so what I do the bottom, I do the top. Now obviously 4 divided by 7 isn't a fast math kind of thing, so you should have had to show your work on a slide. Alright, and what a wonderful example I came up with. So when I did all my math, I came up with actually repeating, but I don't know if you would have gotten this far before you would have given up, but it's actually like this, repeating. So we don't talk like that when we're talking about yards. So let's say about 0.6 lawns, and that's us estimating that. So now we're going to have to change the equal sign to a little approximate sign. That's what little squiggly equal signs look like. And so we're going to be approximately 0.6 lawns in 1 hour. What a sloppy example I gave you. I'm so sorry. Alright guys, so that is the end of our amazing video. Make sure that you're using your brain and not your calculator. I'll see you all in school. Bye.